was more like a beauty queen from a movie scene. She said, don't mind what you do to me, I am the one who will dance on the floor in a round.
So we're here with singer-songwriter Millie Franks. Hi Millie, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good. I'm great. Yeah, I got a glass of wine here, so everything's fine with me.
Fabulous. I had a Diet Coke, but I've just finished that before I started this. So
A true professional. So have you managed to stay sane in lockdown?
I have, but I'm living with my mum and dad at the moment, and we haven't bitten each other's heads off yet. So that's always a good sign, isn't it?
That has got to be a good start, yeah. I think the last time we met must have been down at the Cage. That was a new music night down at the Cage?
Yeah, no, I think it was New Music Nights. It was the night I performed with Anushka. She was on performing. No, I remember now. Yeah, I think that was October. I think.
Wow, I think that was one of the very few gigs we managed to pull together last year for obvious reasons. So you do, when you're live, you do a lot of covers, but you're actually a singer-songwriter. You do your own originals as well, don't you?
No, I am indeed a singer-songwriter, but I tend to perform more covers only because some of my stuff's quite slow. Like, I'd like to think I'm a bit more up-tempo when it comes to performing live, but I do occasionally do my originals every so often. But yeah, no, I am a singer-songwriter, so I do write my own things as well as perform covers. So
great. So who would you say were your main influences in your own original music?
Wow, honestly, I think songwriting technique, I definitely would say the basic and go for Ed Sheeran or Adele, 100%. I sort of tend to write my songs with past experiences involved. Sometimes it's experiences that other people go through, and I've seen that happen, but I tend to basically base my music on past experiences and things like that. So,
okay. And do you write them in that sense, that like very personal, or do you try and sort of disguise them as third person?
I try and disguise them as much in third person as I possibly can. And sometimes it comes out a bit personal, and I do think, oh, it sometimes works that way. And then sometimes I just stick to the third person because I feel like I want people to relate to the song. So if I did it in that style, it would be so much better to other people.
And I mean, the classic question is, what comes first? Sounds like it's the ideas and the kind of lyrical content that comes first for you.
Do you know what? It depends on the song. So, for example, my song Remember, I was humming the tune and playing around with my guitar and playing with a few bits and bobs on my guitar. And I was thinking, actually, I started with the melody first before I came up with the lyrics. So it sort of depends what song it is. And with Home, it was lyrics again. So it was lyrics. So it just depends on my song, really. But yeah, Remember was definitely melody.
And these originals, can people find you on social media or Spotify if they want to hear more of your original music?
Yes, they can. If you just type my name, Millie Jane Franks, on Spotify, iTunes, Google, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you've got everything that you need to know on there, and YouTube as well, and SoundCloud. I've got so many platforms. It's so hard to remember.
Yeah, well, we'll put lots of links in the video notes so people can follow you if they want to hear more of your original stuff. Good. So what have you been working on recently? Any recent releases you want to tell us about, or any stuff that's in the pipeline that will be popping out soon?
I've definitely been working on a lot of music over lockdown. I've been performing a lot of online gigs, so I've been keeping busy, which is good. I sort of have a dedicated day in the week now during lockdown where I focus on my music. So but yeah, no, I've been focusing on my writing. I've suffered with this thing, writer's block. I'm not sure if it's true, but with me, I have had a little bit of writer's block, but over lockdown, I've sort of recovered from that, thank goodness. And I've got some new material that I'd like to get produced. So yeah, it's an upwards, thank goodness. I am looking to release my new single this year. So I'm very excited.
Your new single, so you know what that's going to be? You know which song you're going to release?
It is, but I'm going to keep it secret because it's a song that a lot of people, it's a song that I've performed before live, but it's one that I've been sort of umming and ahhing about releasing, but because it's such a personal song to me. But do you know what? I thought to myself, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to release it. It's 2021.
Yeah. No time to lose.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Okay, well, if we, so we're not allowed to talk about that one, but when will it be? Have you got a time scale when it might be released?
Release dates, I'm not so sure, because of lockdown and everything with COVID and things like that. I'm not so sure, but I'm hoping around September time, maybe even a little bit earlier than that. Who knows?
Good.
Don't want to give too much away. I want it to be a massive like comeback for me, you know.
I've only ever seen you perform as a soloist, but when you release material, do you do it in a band format, or is it just you and your guitar?
It's just me and my guitar, but sometimes if I want to add certain things, I do get either the producer or I get someone else in to add those bits in for me. But yeah, no, it's mainly just me and my guitar.
And how big a part of your life is music? I mean, do you expect to do music for the rest of your life? Is it a professional thing for you, or is it just a passionate hobby?
It's a professional thing for me. I've been professional since the age of 15. Well,
wow.
I would say I'd start, my first gig was at 15, and I'd say professionally I started at age 19 after I left ACM in Guildford. But from then, I've always wanted to do it as not a hobby, but a career. But I know how much of a tough industry it is, the music industry. Yeah. But I feel like getting myself back out there again once COVID is all over, it will be so amazing. And it'll be just such an amazing feeling not performing to a laptop screen.
Yeah.
It'll be so nice.
Real people.
I know, it'll be very overwhelming to begin with. But
if you could talk to your 15-year-old self and give your younger self some advice, I'm sure there are many things that you found you've been able to do yourself to help promote your music, but there'll be some things that you haven't, that you've had to look for help elsewhere and rely on other people. So absolutely. If you could talk to your 15-year-old self, what sort of relationships would you advise young musicians to build that will get them to the best place they can be in a few years' time?
That is a very good question. I think personally, it's all about networking and getting to know everybody around you, especially at a gig. And you never know, someone in the audience could know someone who could produce a song, or someone in the audience could be like, oh, I can do backing vocals for that track, or I can play the drums for that track for you, or whatever, or someone could be a producer. I think it's just all about networking. And that's what I love about performing with New Music Nights. I was introduced actually to New Music Nights by a friend of mine, and I saw her perform and I thought, do you know what, the network around New Music Nights is honestly amazing. And the fact that everyone sort of has their own bit to do and they're all experienced in their own different ways. I just love the fact that you can connect with someone and sort of meet new people. So I think the advice I would give to my 15-year-old self would be to get out there, be confident, don't be shy, just go and talk to people, because at the end of the day, if you don't ask, you don't get. So that's what I've always said to myself. So it's all about networking and then finding those venues as well, like potential new clients or potential new gigs that you can find. So no, definitely be confident and go out and just network and get to know all the people around you.
That's brilliant, Millie. Well, as you know, part of what we do at New Music Nights is encouraging young musicians. So I hope they will find that advice to network very valuable.
Oh, no, I hope so too, because
it sounds so right to me, because I guess that if you're a young musician, you tend to like focus 100% on your music. But actually what you've got to do also is develop the network around you that'll help you get that music developed and out there and released and heard by as many people as possible.
No, absolutely. And without New Music Nights, I probably wouldn't have met Tom Hughes, who's literally one of my producers now, and he worked on my track Home with me. And he's honestly like the most incredible producer that I've ever met. Honestly, he's just very good at what he does. And I wouldn't have met my friend Holly, who I went on tour with a couple of years ago. Like, I went on tour with her around Surrey, and I did the New Music Nights with her. I did the duet of our song, and that's how I was introduced to New Music Nights, was through Holly. But no, honestly, I think the best way to do it is to network. And I think New Music Nights, you've honestly really helped me get myself out there and meet new people and get to know everybody. So it's been lovely.
Fantastic. Well, that's great news. It's good to know that what we do actually has some effect.
Oh, it does, definitely.
And we look forward to seeing you at a proper gig with real people and not playing to a laptop screen pretty soon. Okay, well, thanks for your time, Millie. We'll sign off with a little bit of Billie Jean from Millie Franks. Thanks a lot, Millie. See you soon.
But the kid is not my son.